introduce yourself?
I'd love to introduce
Go
myself.
ahead.
This has been much nicer than just starting it cold. I was getting nervous.
I know, no one wants... We were talking about this before we started, but no one wants to, like... Hi, I'm Megan, and this is my podcast, and you're listening to me talking into a microphone.
I really enjoyed the difference between your voice and your podcast voice, which is funny because, like, when you actually... I remember listening to your podcast having met you and being like, oh, is she going to sound really weird? And it was just like, I was so surprised that it sounded like you.
Yeah. I don't just have a podcast voice all the time. But this is the weird thing, because on my true crime podcast, I don't sound like this. Like, this is my real voice.
I think you sound like you.
Okay.
On the true crime podcast.
Not in the intro. In the intro I sound like a newsreader.
You just sound formal, but you don't sound weird. You don't sound like you don't sound weirdly.
Is that the technical term?
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Okay. I'm Jess, and do I just need to talk about my research?
Go ahead.
That's so mortifying for everybody. My research is. You've just gone through the stage of being, for like a year, you're like, my research is blah, blah, blah. Like in the first year, you get it down.
The title.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
I think my project is going to end up being called something like Radical Consciousnesses.
Yes.
Something else. Not decide what the afterwards bit is going to be. I initially started the research looking at radical politics, chiefly like socialist feminist politics, in Victorian periodical culture, like the fiction that appears within like an emergent press culture. And initially it was very much about radical politics in radical publications, and now it's about radical politics everywhere.
Wow, so a lot of PhD students really zone in on one aspect, but you've just took a big step back.
I tried so hard. I found some lovely socialist stories in a lovely like trade unionism magazine, and then the problem arrived when I went looking for feminist stories.
Right.
And I went looking in feminist magazines, and it's just racism.
Oh, God.
And I was like, I don't want to fucking write about this again. Because my master's dissertation, I found a poet and I loved her. Amazing poet. And called Mina Loy. Her work is still brilliant and everybody should read it. But, like, then you do the smallest amount of research and you're like, she's a fascist. But, like, the language is so, like, opulent that you sort of don't notice. And I was just excited because she wrote a lot about sex. So I was like, this is so sexy and fun. Like, I'd love to spend a year writing about, like, sexy, fun poems.
And master's level Jess was, like, full into that.
This is, like, this research coincided with, like, the biggest slut era that anybody has ever had. So I was just living and breathing it, like, just fucking all over the gaff. But then it was dampened by the fact that she was, like, a raging fascist. So that was
Don't you hate that though? When you're like,
you find someone and you're like, this is it.
Why'd you have to be like a homophobe?
This is most of the thing with like modernism. I don't know if you were like big into modernism. I had a big like modernist phase because I'm an arsehole. And then I started going out with someone and he was like, you will eventually turn into a vehement anti-modernist.
Right.
And I was like, it's not that bad. They can't help it. Like, they can't help the fucking racism. And then now I am, like, just a complete anti-modernist. I was like, oh no, it was fully prophesised.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's what I think, like, part of doing a PhD is, like, just having all of your idols turn out to be racist.
Yes. All the time.
They don't tell you that in the course requirements.
Not the...
There's no disclaimer.
Yeah, and I wish somebody had been like, this little plan that you've got, it's really nice, but like it's not gonna.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be for you. It's just so much eugenics.
Yes.
Like late Victorians anyway, very into eugenics. And then if it's not eugenics, it's like social purity. Ooh. So like the idea of like, we love women, but only like married, like middle class educated women, and like that was the whole
palatable women.
Palatable women. So that was the longest intro. Do I need like a succinct introduction?
Are you going to conclude it or
no?
anyone who's still listening is like, I have no idea who this person is, but I just had a lot of words.
It's too many words, isn't it?
Yeah. See, when I try and... Because people have asked me what you do for a PhD.
Sure.
And I have described it to people. And I've always described it as literature, like radical literature around socialism and feminism.
Megan, that's so good. You totally know what I do.
Okay, because for so long I was like, is that what she does?
Yeah, no, massively. I think it's my methodology called studies, which is like a strain of, I don't know, it's like a way of reading, right?
Yeah.
It's like cultural materialist kind of vibes.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't just pick one methodology because I'm also like, I kind of like have a bit of flirtation with like historicism, Marxism, feminism, like it's all fucking...
Marxism was going to come out at some point.
It has to. It can't, I'm not saying like I'm a Marxist, like fucking, like, it's not the hill I'm going to die on, Marxism, but it's how I read, like, massively.
No, that makes sense.
So, yeah.
Wow,
the project is it's like looking at political radicalism and how like that drives like stylistic innovation, so like where genre and stuff might get messy when it's driven by like something that's radical.
And if anyone listening has no idea what Jess has just said,
Megan will tell them.
Neither do I.
Oh, good.
So
not many. Every time I have a fucking meeting, my poor second supervisor's always like, "And what are you like? What's your argument again? Like, what are you saying?" It's just so many
big words that I don't know the meaning of.
It's too much, isn't it? Like, it's way too much. And I did get told, like, I've been told about fucking 5 times it's too big. Like, it's just, and it is too big.
Yeah.
But
here we are. Look,
here we are.
We're ambitious. You don't do a PhD if you're not ambitious.
I've waited this long to get here that I'm sort of like, I'm going to write about everything.
I've got 3 years.
Come at me. I've got racks on racks, mate. I've got stuff to talk about. I've got things to say.
I love that.
I've got stories that I'm pretty sure I did this whole PhD so I could write about Charlotte Muse, A White Night. It's my favourite short story.
Oh my god. How big of a fan are you? Well, I did an entire PhD.
I did an entire PhD just to write about this one story.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Good.
Are you like... I'm talking too much already.
No,
You're going to have to edit this to make it look fairer.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is just completely like uncensored, unabridged. Just 2 first-gen PhD candidates talking about the highs and lows of doing a PhD and doing higher education. This career path that we've decided to go down. Which is really fun.
It's so fun. We're having so much fun.
Really enjoying it. So, I'm Megan. I'm also doing a PhD.
Yes.
We're both humanities, aren't we?
We are.
Which is great
for our sins.
Yeah. We don't hear a lot about humanities subjects. And this is nothing against STEM subjects. I will preface this with STEM subjects are great.
Thank you, STEM subjects.
Thank you
doing the work that I don't want to do.
Absolutely
and I can't do.
No, I don't want to go to lab.
Absolutely
I don't want to do it. Thank you for medicine and
totally antibiotics. Great, fantastic. I love them.
Yeah, we read and write, so we are equally as good.
I fully have like been pilled into thinking that humanities students are inferior to STEM students.
Oh my god, yes!
I just believe it. I'm like, I'm just here.
Yeah, because when I started my PhD. And people would ask me about it, my response would be like, it's not that good. I'm not like curing cancer.
I always say that. I'm like, it's just, that's how I start every response to any question about
100%. I will also be fully transparent and say, we are going to talk over each other a lot.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
We are. No, it's not a problem. If they have an issue with it, then they don't have to listen.
Meg's the professional.
Absolutely not.
I'm just here. And like as Meg's known me quite a while, just knows I do talk over everybody. I talk over. It's such a horrible trait. I wish I didn't do it.
I like it.
That's good for you, though, isn't it? Like,
well
done. Like, you're a better person than me.
Congratulations.
I hate being talked over.
Oh no. So you give it out, but you can't take it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know. I used to be very, 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 very shy.
Really?
Oh my god, yeah. Like, really bad. Awful. Like, no friends till I was about 16.
No.
Yeah. Big time. Very shy. Whereas now, I'm like, I have to be the loudest, brashest, like...
What was that turning point, do you think?
Don't
Not
know.
that I'm trying to psychoanalyse you.
No, do it.
Welcome to therapy.
Losing my virginity, probably.
It changes you. It changes you.
Once I was like, I can fuck. That's when I was like, am I the best person that's ever existed in the whole world?
All of your inner power just comes from your vagina.
Yeah, like, yeah.
It's the fuel cell that keeps you going. You just need to be recharged every now and again.
I've got a complex relationship with my sexuality.
And that's another thing that we are likely going to talk about, because you can't talk about higher education without talking about fucking.
Without fucking.
Because it's such... I mean, everyone who's been to university, especially if they've lived away and done, like, the undergrad experience, like 60, 70, mostly 90% of people have had some sort of, like, sex story. And
from unis, like, specifically.
Yeah.
I never fucked anyone from uni, though.
Oh, really?
No, kept it all. Well, I didn't live on...
You don't shit where you eat.
I don't, exactly. I don't go to uni to make friends or have sex. I was just there to dominate academically.
I guess I won't talk to you anymore then. Oh, we're just colleagues.
Look, it's not you. As we've said, I'm just tragically straight.
I know.
It's a
real shame.
I'm a wasted bisexual.
Genuinely.
As my friends say.
Genuinely.
Such a wasted bisexual.
We would make, and a full disclaimer, I am a bisexual. And I feel like we would genuinely make the biggest power couple.
Oh my god, we'd be so good. We'd be unstoppable.
But I'd also be terrified of having sex with you.
Yeah, you know what? You're not the first person to say that. No one has anything to be afraid of with me sexually.
Okay.
I talk the talk.
Yeah. Which is great. Can we move the conversation away from your vagina and back to my PhD?
Sure, Meg, please introduce your research.
How long have we been recording? 16 minutes.
Good.
I'd like it. Well, I was going to say, Dad, if you're listening, stop listening, but he turned off like...
Oh, God.
13 minutes ago.
I keep forgetting people are going to listen to this.
Our supervisors may listen to this.
I hope not. That's a shame.
I'm sorry. Don't think badly of me.
Don't think badly of me.
We're working very hard and we're doing all of our assignments.
I do work fucking hard.
You do work fucking hard.
You work fucking hard.
Aww.
We work fucking hard.
Yes.
Two very hard working people.
Yeah, and the more we say it, the more we'll convince ourselves.
I don't need. I'm under no illusion that we are probably two of the hardest working people. You are incredibly hard working.
Oh, mate.
You have an admirable work ethic.
Thanks. Well, I'll do a very brief.
that.
And moving on. So my PhD is around the ethics of true crime and investigating whether true crime content can be ethical and entertaining, or whether its entertainment value is intrinsically linked to its unethical practices. So looking at how speculation, invasions of privacy, those sort of storytelling techniques and investigative techniques can be unethical, and whether without them the genre can still be entertaining. So I'm doing... I've got some empirical data that I'm working with, so I interviewed some true crime podcasters, which has been so much fun. Writing a novel to disseminate the research, and that's it, yeah.
That's it, just my novel and all my...
Spiel.
Just my novel and all my data and all my...
Oh my god. It's
all my
so
interviews
much.
and my podcast.
It's so much. It really is so much. And I had a supervisor tutorial, and I was telling you this at my event.
Yes.
We were talking about what I'm coming to submit.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, you don't need to write a full novel. You can get away with a novella, which is 40,000 words-ish.
Lovely.
And I was like, okay, here's the issue. I'm at 46,000 words, and I'm 2/3 the way through.
That's so mad.
I'm not going to be able to do that.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Not going to write a novella.
No. And we were talking about my critical commentary, because that's going to be another chapter of the thesis.
That's what it's called, yeah. Critical commentary.
And I was expecting it to be like 10,000 words,
Sure.
15,000 words.
Yeah.
I'm writing a novel here.
Yeah.
No.
Cut me some fucking slack.
Absolutely not 40,000 words.
Ew. Really? Really?
40,000
That's
words!
fucking horrible.
I know.
You've got a lot, like, in a way though, it's so cruel because, like, 40,000 words, you could, like, you'll blow over that easy because you're gonna have so much to say.
I hope so.
I can't imagine. You will, honestly, you will. Like, I do shit that's been done to fucking death. I've got like 120 years of criticism, like, on the shit I write about, and like, you're still always like pushed for like, what do I include? What don't I include? Like, what's relevant? What's not relevant? Like,
that's a good point, actually. How have you been able to like identify your original contribution to knowledge? Because if you don't know, in the PhD world, you live and die by your original contribution
to knowledge.
If you aren't contributing something that's original, never been done... What's the meme? Never been done before. Groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Then you're not doing it.
The best way I can describe my original contribution is like, you know that photo and it's like two cars and the bumpers are like nearly touching, one's a little there and it's like the gap in the research that my project addresses. That's my original contribution. I didn't know what it was. Like, I don't know if you had this. Like, I had to have people tell me like repeatedly what it was, and I didn't know that was going to be... I just thought I had to... like, you know, like in an anime origin story, like I would like innately know what it was gonna be, and I would tell them, and they'd be like, "Wow, bravo!"
Yeah, round of applause.
But it wasn't. Like, I had to be like, I've got like, I think I went to them with like, I've got like fucking 6 ideas, and like, what should it be?
Help
me. And I mean, I had a massive start because I'd got some material that I knew I wanted to work with that hasn't been like, it's not anthologized or anything, and I was like, I know I want to get this out, like, not into the world because no one's gonna fucking read it, but like I would like it in some way to like be acknowledged, if only by like, you know, 12 future scholars who like want to work on some really niche socialist serializations. But that's when someone was like, well, that could be like your original contribution, like if you've got something exciting to say about it that you can apply, you know, as like a framework.
Yes.
So that was...
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So you found like a little gap in the literature that you can...
Tiny gap.
A baby little gap.
Baby little gap.
A whisper.
Yeah.
A whisper.
Whereas yours, that's why I was always so, like, obsessed with you, because I was like, this is someone who's actually originally contributing to the knowledge right now, like, it's happening.
Shall we talk about how we met? Because
it's a meet cute. This is why we'd have been such a fun couple, because we have a meet cute.
I know.
Like a really proper meet. Well, we think it's a meet cute. You know how like I always tell people how me and my boyfriend met, and they're like, I don't care. I'm like, it's so cute. And you guys have a meet cute. Like, yeah, you and your partner also have a meet cute.
Me and husband met on Tinder, so
I think that's a meet cute. Any successful Tinder story, in my eyes, is like the cutest meet cute.
I'd like to say we completed the game.
You did, yeah. You finished Tinder, like you got married, like that's.
We got to the credits. We got to the end screen.
You did. You scrolled all the way fucking down. Boom.
So I was giving a seminar, a work in progress seminar, and Jess was in the audience, and then you cyberstalked me.
Did I just DM you on Instagram?
Yes.
And was like, I want to be your friend.
Yeah, which is interesting because I didn't give out my Instagram username.
No, I just fully was like, I think I know what her name is. In a way that no one wants to admit they use Instagram, which is like they just search people's names and I think that looks vaguely like them.
Yes.
And then looks through their feed and is like, that seems like the vibe.
Close enough.
And then just messages them.
Exactly.
I was so lonely.
Oh, mate.
I was like, I want a friend so badly. And I did think it was very cool, like, because we've talked extensively, like, I love true crime, but then I've had a really complicated relationship with it, like, in recent years of being like, God, can I even listen to this without feeling super fucking weird? And like, my relationship to it as a genre has definitely changed a lot. So then when I saw your research, I was like, someone, a guiding light who can tell me how to feel about true crime. That would be so nice.
Yay. So yeah, Jess messaged me, and then we arranged to like meet up and go for a coffee, and we didn't even know what the other person looked like.
No, proper blind date.
It really was a blind date.
Proper blind
and
date.
And I think
situation.
we spoked.
We did spoke. We spoke for many hours.
For
Don't you hate it when you say something and someone's like, you got a humanities degree? Fuck off.
Oh my god. And I get it, because I did my undergrad in film and creative writing.
Yes.
And then I did my maths in creative writing and my PhD in creative writing. If someone says, have you watched this film or have you read this book? And I say no.
Oh, Dodie. Oh,
yeah,
God.
I sometimes say yes just because I don't want...
I lie every single time.
I don't want to hear them go, oh...
that's so fucking offended. I'm like, what does it matter to you whether you've definitely not fucking read it, or maybe you have, and I don't care.
No.
Good for you.
It's like they grow 2 foot in height and they're like, I'm better than you.
I read this thing, and I'm like, good for you.
Yeah, just because I'm doing a PhD in creative writing doesn't mean I'm the authority on books.
Exactly.
I've barely read anything.
I know, I'm like, I ain't got time to fucking read. I've not got fucking time to read.
Literally. So yeah, Jess and I met, and we it's like we're tangenting, and we spoke for 4 hours.
Yeah,
non-stop, and we trauma bonded immediately.
We realised we'd lived the same life. Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, it was like 25 years of like emotional, sexual relationship trauma sort of came out
big time.
Yeah, found out that we went to the same riding school.
Yeah,
which was fun.
It was. We were literally just like we've lived like very parallel lives and somehow like never known each other, even though like destiny should have like brought us together sooner.
And I was thinking about this earlier. I think it's so sad, like when you meet people, like when I get to meet people like Jess, or like when I met Jess later in life, because if I'd have met you 3 years earlier, you would have 100% been one of my bridesmaids. And it's
that's so
why?
Cute.
Why did we not meet earlier?
I always do feel sad, like not sad, but like so I sort of think I wish I'd known like people that I have like this intensely like close you meet somebody like we feel the same about so many things, like, and just have a very... It's so nice to meet people with like such a similar worldview. And
Definitely. And I think because I like the person that I am when I'm around you.
Sure.
And so
I bring everybody down.
And so it's like I wish I'd met you sooner, because it's like I think being friends with someone like you like makes you a better person.
I think it's nice to have a relationship where you can just be like so like authentic, like I just everything is so authentic, like I never think about what I'm gonna say, like it just happens, like I never feel judged, like feeling seen and like accepted immediately is so nice. It's like so refreshing.
I know. I think that's what's so beautiful about female relationships, like female friendships have such a special place in my heart.
For sure
100%. Our introduction has been 27
minutes. We kind of knew this would happen, I think.
Yeah, and I think this is what people should expect from this podcast. It's called Academically Challenged.
It's been half an hour. They know that. They can read. They can read it.
They're educated.
They know they can follow the little Spotify fucking menus.
Exactly.
Whatever.
So we basically wanted to talk about our university experiences because we find that there aren't many voices who are A, female.
Sure.
B, humanities.
Yeah.
C, first gen and not like rolling in money.
Yeah. Have you got a title?
Yeah.
I've never asked you this.
Yeah.
What's your project called? That's so good.
I know.
That's amazing.
And you know what the craziest thing is? That's been my title from the proposal that I submitted.
Fuck off.
Seriously.
It's not even changed.
Not changed. The entire project hasn't changed.
That's incredible.
I know.
You might be the first person who's ever achieved this in higher education.
I thought that was normal.
No.
Wow.
You don't know. You don't know the power that you hold.
You don't know the half of it.
You don't know anything.
The privilege.
Let me tell you about titles. I think I even wrote my first title either. I think my previous supervisor, like God love my previous supervisor, she did so much.
She went through it.
This PhD is hers. Like it's not even mine, really.
God.
Truly it is. I'm carrying her torch, big time.
Have tried to keep up to date with my research diary this week, and I absolutely despise doing it.
I hate doing it too.
And that's not anything against a research diary. I think it's so important
I think they're a good idea, yeah.
I can't even keep an emotional diary when my therapist asks me to. So it's not the research diary that's the issue. I am the issue. Yeah. I can't do it. I can't reflect. I just do. You know?
Do you think it's because like you're quite perfectionist about things and you find it hard to be like, this is going like badly or this is great. It's sometimes hard, and sometimes you don't even know how it's going half the time.
No, not at all.
And they are a pain in the arse to actually sit down and be like, I'm going to write this now, and like make
God.
time to be reflective. Like, that's hard.
All thoughts leave your head, and my research diary is basically like, I set out to write a novel chapter today, and then I did it, and then I wanted to plan my methodology chapter, and then I did it, and now it's the end of the day. Thank you and good night. And that's it. That's my research diary.
Yeah, that sounds like, in a way, like, that's good. Like, at least you're still plotting, like, what you're plotting, what you're achieving.
We're all villains.
This is the start of the villain arc. All villains have a PhD.
That's so true.
Ever noticed
we
that?
should do an episode on villain PhDs.
That's so good.
Oh my God. And we can rank them.
Yes!
Write it down.
Quick!
You're genuinely writing it down.
Yes, I will forget.
Okay. So I've been trying to keep update with my research diary, and it's just really hard, and I don't like doing it because I'm not very reflective.
You must be. I would never say that you are not a reflective person.
I'm like, have you seen that black is black paint that just absorbs all light?
Vanta Black.
Yeah, that's me when I try and write my research diary.
Really?
I can't.
You really hate it.
And it's not even the research diary. As I said, I have regular therapy because sometimes we need it. Actually, she sits where you're sat right now.
Does she?
Yeah.
Maybe I can absorb some of, like, the common sense.
Yes.
Not that I should not. Hang on. That makes me sound like I think all you need is common sense to, like, address your very storied
If only it was as simple as that.
Truly.
But yeah, my therapist asked me to keep like a journal so that we can come back to things in the week.
Yeah.
And she literally had to text me prompts because I was literally just writing like what I ate that day.
Yeah,
like, what I did that day, not how I felt, because I'm a full like disassociative queen, and just the moment I try and think about my feelings, they just run and hide in the corner of my brain.
Really?
Oh my God, yeah. I will be in like floods of tears just before my therapy appointment. The moment I sit down with my therapist, stone cold.
Yeah,
nothing comes out.
How are you? I'm fine.
Yeah. To the point where my therapist has stopped asking me how I am because she knows I'll be like, I'm great, how are you? Literally, oldest daughter. Classic oldest daughter behaviour.
1,000%.
And that's the other thing. We're both
eldest daughters, which means that we are just conduits for generational trauma.
We carry the weight of the family.
We just carry the weight of everybody else's bullshit.
Yeah, basically.
No, that's very unfair.
No, we have lovely families.
We have lovely... You might. No, I'm joking.
My entire family came to the... I launched a newspaper last week and my entire family came to the event. I think in terms of the groups of people, the biggest group was my family.
They are a wonderful,
Fantastic.
wonderful bunch.
Yeah.
A wonderful bunch.
They have no idea what I do.
No.
But they're very supportive.
Do you not find very much like a first gen thing though? Yes. Of like, my mum has no fucking idea what I do on a day-to-day basis. Like, at all.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, my mum is lovely. She's very, very proud. She's so supportive of the project. Does she know what it's about? No!
Not a clue. My dad just keeps asking, like, he loves to make this joke every single time when I say I'm going to be a doctor, and he's like, oh, not a medical one though. What are you going to do if someone has a heart attack? Are you going to write them a story? That's what he says.
Thanks, Dad.
That's his response.
Yeah.
Very loving and supportive father.
Yeah, sure.
Loves a joke.
Yeah.
Loves a joke. My goodness. But I think that's why we wanted to do this, because it's like we wanted to have an outlet where we can talk about our experiences. We've had how many years of being in higher education now?
Yeah, too fucking many. I got a fucking like Facebook memory the other day of me at like a freshers, like back when I actually used to go out. It's me at like a mother-daughter social with like my fucking little Bridget Jones fucking bunny outfit on.
Stop.
8 years ago.
Stop.
I was like, why have I, or maybe it was 7, but I was like, why have I been here this fucking long?
We're still doing it. We're still in education.
It makes me so unhappy. Everyone else in that photo's got a fucking house and a job and a fucking life.
Kids.
Married.
I mean, I ticked off that one, but...
Yeah, how the fuck you pulled that off as well? I got no idea.
But it was before I did the PhD, that's why. I had a gap where I'm just like, I've got to get a life event out.
I've got to pump one out.
Pump one out. That does not happen very often.
I'll just get married.
Yeah, literally. Get married and then continue to pump one out.
And then continue to pump one out. Exactly. How all marriages should be.
We've got too much shit to do. We've talked about this. Like, you become adults and then it's like the fun person you were in, like, freshers.
Yeah.
Where you were just, like, just down in shorts. And I mean, I was in a relationship for my first year of uni, so it's a poor decision there.
Yeah.
But you're, like, going out all the time. I remember thinking, as a BA, and if anyone's listening who's doing their undergrad, don't hear this and think that we're, like, belittling the experience, because we have to go on this journey.
Yeah, totally.
But I'd be given, like, a 3,000 word essay and think it was the end of the world.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, now
I remember writing my first, like, 3,500 word essay and being like, whoo!
I deserve a break.
Hard day.
Whereas now it's like, oh, I'm sitting down my laptop, I need to write a novel chapter, and it's like a solid 1,500 words a day.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, how?
I know.
You're a much more disciplined writer than me. You're like, you make words, like, in a way that I just do not do at all. I genuinely think it's because, so I have a day job where I'm a writer.
Yeah. And it's like, if you are paid by an employer or a client, you don't have the freedom or the liberty to have writer's block.
No.
You just have to keep producing.
I remember you telling me that, like, quite early on, and, like, I was like, that's inspiring. Like, I need to start writing, like, because in a way, like, I am being paid to write, but instead of being paid, I'm actually just being, like, threatened by debt. So I'm like, it's sort of it's a similar thing. Like, I do also need to, like, make some fucking words. Like, I'm just really slow. I'm a very, very slow writer.
Thing is, you can't edit an empty page. So even if whatever you write is absolute garbage, you can still edit it.
Sure, exactly. You've got to have something to edit.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I like the research diary.
Yes.
Because that gets me started, and then, like, once I've started being like, oh, okay, maybe I'm gonna write about this. Like, once I've started doing it, then I'm like, and then, like, the first 3K words might be complete shit, 100%. But I've, like, I've found motion.
No one's ever written a good introduction first time around.
Hell no. I always write my introductions last anyway.
I love it when people do that. I can't.
Do you have to begin at the beginning?
I'm a chronological order sort of person.
Oh my god. Yeah. I don't understand you people.
Nope.
How are you starting at the start?
I have no idea. Just happens. Should we do what we actually planned?
Yeah, should we do the... Okay, we're at 43 minutes. This is fine.
We did a great introduction though, even though it
really
was...
great introduction.
It ping-ponged all over the place.
I'm quite nervous that you're thinking most of this is going to stay.
Oh, all of this is going to stay.
Oh, God. I trust you.
This is authentic.
I trust your vision.
And I'm going to say that every episode is explicit. We knew this was going to happen. Yeah. Imagine if I'd have sat down and been like, hey, Jess, like, we're not swearing.
We can't swear, but, like, bye. Yeah. You're going to have to find somebody
Incorrect.
else.
Absolutely incorrect.
My second word was fuck.
No, it wasn't.
It was nooking now, meaning fucking how.
Wow.
Yeah, because I was in the bath and my dad came up the stairs and, like, hit his toe.
Yeah.
And, like, went, and then I was in the bath and I was like, oh, nooking now.
Oh my god.
And my mum was like, oh my fucking god.
What have we created?
My mum was like, she's swearing.
Yeah, as a child.
And my first word for context was Pooh Bear, so, like, there was a real conflict going on there. So, like, even though my mum was a bit cooler with us, like, saying, like, fuck and shit and all those other disgusting things, like, you had, if you didn't say please or thank you, like...
Yeah. At the end of every meal, we had to say, thank you for my dinner, please may I leave the table.
Yes, we had to say that as well.
So, we were raised to be polite people.
Oh, yeah, sure. Very polite.
If we really wanted to swing it, we could be like, so we're humanities, like, literature students, and, like, language is just a construct. And, like, words are just letters and sounds, and they just, like, they have no meaning. If we wanted to justify it.
If we were so inclined.
Yeah, that's
words do not have an inherent meaning.
They have historical meaning.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. That's why I'm going to tell my supervisor when they say, why were you swearing so much?
Yeah. Words have no inherent meaning.
Yes. And we're two grown-ass women.
Exactly. I'll say whatever I want.
Good. Good for you.
I won't. I'll just tailor it to what people I think they might want me to
Yeah,
say.
I'll mould myself into the person you want me to
I'll
be.
just morph a new personality for every individual person I encounter.
My entire
Don't
life.
worry about it.
Which is why I think we get on so well, because I don't have to do that around you.
No. Like,
This is
just
Just us.
Just us.
And this, you know...
Being vulgar and uninteresting.
That'd be my tagline if I was like an exotic dancer.
Sure, yeah.
Vulgar and uninteresting. She'll bore you, but you'll see some bits.
Whenever I see them, I'm just like, God, they're so athletic, you know, and they've got so much rhythm. As someone that can't dance, like, whenever I see, like, strippers, I'm just like, I'm so in love with you.
Yes.
Like, I'm so in awe, you know?
I just want to go as a fan. Like...
Same!
Yeah.
Like, don't waste it on these arseholes.
Yeah.
Like, give me a lap dance. I'm fucking ready. Like, just as a spectacle of, like, feminine athleticism.
Oh,
I just love women.
Stripping is a spectacle of feminist athleticism. That is a PhD title right there.
It's the PhD I've been doing for sensible. Do you ever get that thing where you like see someone else's project and you're like, why aren't I doing like?
Yes.
Why have I not written that?
Yeah,
like
100%. Anything can be a thesis.
Sure, yeah, sure.
I will stand by that.
I love it when it's something like ridiculously niche and I'm just like, that's so smart. Like I love it when people take like a singular like object or something and then like use it as a lens to do like a social history or something. I'm always like, why are you so clever?
Yes. And the confidence as well to minimise it into something that's like so in its purest parts and not make it this flouncy, like fancy sounding thing.
Yeah.
The confidence is insane.
Yeah. It's like a history of queer theory, like looking at teapots or something. I'm just always like, guys.
I know.
Leave some for the rest of us.
I know. Not that I'm doing it again after this.
God, oh fuck, God no. God no.
God, oh fuck, God,
God,
no.
oh fuck, God no.
Oh my god.
I don't want to use my PhD. Is this a good time to realise that? Like halfway through, it's be like, I don't want this anymore.
We are exactly halfway through as well.
I know.
This month.
Can
you believe it?
No. I've got so much to do.
Help.
Help me.
Do you have to do yours in 3 years as well because you're funded?
Oh yeah, I'm on a fucking countdown.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Once that dries up, goodbye.
I'm choosing to do it in 3 years because I want a baby, and I don't want to have a baby while I'm still doing this.
Is a sticking point in mine and Meg's relationship.
I know, it's the only difference.
I'm just like, why?
Jess hasn't got a maternal bone in her body.
I'll love your baby.
Of course.
I will love your baby.
You're going to be the crack aunt.
This is your crack aunt.
Yeah. And they're going to benefit from it. Shall we actually do what we planned?
Should we do the thing?
Right. So I've prepared a bit of a this or that. So we can do what I thought was going to be an introduction to us, but we've just rambled for the last 49 minutes about us.
Great.
And Jess's vagina. So here we are. What a great introduction to us as people and as professionals.
So. Well, we were going to do like questions and then conversation, and we've just done conversation and then questions.
We're very wind us up and watch us go.
Yeah, totally. We both had a coffee, that's why.
Yes.
Little coffee, and as soon as that mic went on, we were like, boom, bam.
Well, the mic went on, you didn't even realise.
I didn't know.
And I was like,
Meg had to trap me like a wild pony.
Because I didn't want you to get weird and uncomfortable.
I would have. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm being weird, but I'm not uncomfortable, whereas I would have definitely gone weird and uncomfortable.
Which is not the combination.
Which is not the combination that anybody wants.
So I've done a bit of a this or that.
Yep.
Very quick fire.
Great.
And just give your explanation.
Sure.
And we may disagree.
Okay.
Digital or paper research?
Digital.
100%.
Yeah.
If you are only using paper research, it is going to take you 3 times as long.
Yeah, goodbye. I get some people want like the dark academia, like secret history experience.
Yeah.
I don't. I want to have, I mean, if you look on my, like Meg's got my laptop, I've got about 374 tabs open currently.
So many tabs open.
In like 7 different browsers.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Digital, changed my life.
I get it, like being nose deep in the archives.
Sure. I like doing, I've been to the archives, I like doing archive work. Not that much though.
No.
You can't take water in there, you get a headache. That's all I'll say about archive work.
That's miserable.
Yeah. And the British Library are lovely, and they're so friendly about it, but they're like, give us all your shit, put your fucking water down, here's your pencil, bye-bye.
And behave yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to see a single fucking finger on that paper.
Don't mess up these really old fucking books.
Yeah,
okay?
with greasy little mitts.
Yes, your horrible, greasy, disgusting hands. If you put your pencil in this book, I mean, I get it. The shit you must see at the British Library. But, yeah. Archives now and again. Lovely. Digital research. Oh.
Yeah. Humanities or STEM?
Humanities.
Hell yeah. Yes. The most Mickey Mouse degrees you could ever imagine.
I love my fake degree. I do love it.
I love my hobby.
I love being a drain on the taxpayer's purse. That's what I like. That's what I like doing with my day.
Yeah, I like spending nearly £700 a month through tuition on doing this fake righty ready degree.
I love hemorrhaging my money and my social respectability on a degree that I would say at least 85% of the people I know personally and meet think is fake. Yes. I love it.
Yeah. I have had ex-partners say it's not a viable career path.
Sure.
I've had people tell me that it's never going to amount to anything.
Yeah.
There's the perception that, like, humanities degrees are a waste of time.
Yeah.
We'll let you know if they are or aren't.
I'm like, yeah, I mean, so far, it is wasting my time.
Give us a couple of years, we'll get back to you.
Yeah,
we'll let you
exactly.
know.
But it won't be a waste of my time, you know,
no.
when I'm a professor, which I won't be, because the English department will have been dismantled. Everybody needs to know that. Humanities departments are being systematically taken apart by the Tory government.
Yeah, that's what this podcast actually is all about. Us calling out the lack of funding.
So, thanks, because you have actually made my job fake. My job won't exist by the time I submit my thesis.
Yeah, I want to become a lecturer just so I can get more people to do fake degrees. It's like a pyramid scheme.
Oh, it's the biggest MLM ever. It's like being in a cult.
Yeah.
And I do want to get more people to join the cult.
100%.
So, I mean, shout out to STEM.
Oh,
I'm like, you know, when STEM people are like so hostile to humanities, I'm like, we love you guys.
I
love work that you guys do. I love it.
Yeah, I like my drugs.
Yeah, sure.
Prescription drugs. I take prescription drugs.
I like all the drugs. I don't take drugs. I'm so boring. But
God, same.
You know, I love STEM.
100%.
Big up STEM. Thank you to the people with real PhDs.
Yes, but that's the thing, because like people will do these degrees and like be critical of the arts and then go home and watch Netflix. I'm like, where did that come from?
You guys love the arts, all you people who say it's fake, you love it. You need us.
What are you going to read?
Exactly.
When there's no books.
Well,
You'll miss us then, won't you?
They won't.
No. Oh, right, in-person or virtual classes?
Ooh.
Tricky.
That is hard. I think I couldn't say that I don't get more out of like in-person like conversation. I feel like in person, like there's an element that you just don't get virtually. Yeah. But as someone who's never lived on campus, virtual every day of the fucking week makes everything way
You've never lived on campus?
No, I've never lived less than an hour away from like my institution.
Did you live in like dorms or anything?
No, I couldn't. I was when I had a full-time job when I started my BA. So it like just wasn't viable.
So that's another diverse experience then between us, because I obviously lived away.
Did you live away for your BA and your MA?
No, I was at home for my MA because it was online.
Yeah. Oh yeah. COVID, wasn't it? Was it COVID?
No, it was because I needed to...
It was so you could work, wasn't it?
Yeah, for my husband's visa.
Yeah.
Never marry a foreigner.
No.
Waste of time.
Bloody foreigners.
Taking our women.
You're too good to go out with a British man.
Oh, that's actually the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
I took the only good British man.
You did.
So, yeah.
Friendly or professional relationship with your supervisors?
Friendly. I want no boundaries. I want no professional boundaries.
Yeah. My supervisors, I see them as like my parents who I just want to make proud.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think that's such a good motivator though, because they do become like very like my previous supervisor was like my mum. Like I love her so much. She got me through so much. She's the reason I've like pursued doing the PhD. Like you know this. Yeah. I loved it. I loved having a massively like unprofessional relationship.
I think it's nice though because it has that level of vulnerability where you can be honest about your position.
Totally.
Like, I had a really rough start of the year mentally, and I felt that I was able to say to my supervisors like, "Hey, this is happening," and they've continued to check in with me and make sure I'm okay, which is so lovely.
And like you do need nurturing.
Yeah, I'm just a baby.
Yeah. You know, baby researcher
Yeah.
it doesn't negate all of the other stuff that you're very, very, like, competent at. And
Yeah.
I think sometimes you need someone to, like, it can be hard, I think, to, like, feel like somebody really believes in your potential.
Yes.
I'm not sure how you can do that, like, with it in a very professional setting.
Especially being, like, 2 first-gen
researchers.
researchers.
I needed someone to, like, get on my fucking level with it. And
Yeah.
be like,
not saying that we're, like, this, like, upper level to everyone
oh,
else, but, like, that it's that
not at all.
understanding.
Yeah.
Right. Living at What? Oh, living at home. Keeping that in. Living at home or on campus?
In another life, I would have lived definitely closer.
Mm-hmm.
But living at home, like, has perks.
Yeah.
I think,
No
possibly.
bills?
No, well, yeah, maybe sometimes. I think, like, for me, I couldn't have done it, like, not living at home.
Mm-hmm.
So I think people assume, like, when you live at home, it's, like, because you want to be, like, babied and coddled. Whereas I was definitely not, like I said, I was working, like,
Mm-hmm.
full time, and, like, the degree was something that I didn't even think was, like, possible for me anyway. So I will do a honourable mention to living at home.
Yeah.
Because there are some perks for sure. I can't say what they are.
But they exist.
But they exist.
I really enjoyed living on campus.
Yeah.
I was very lucky that the people I lived with, so I met my best friend on literally the first day that I was on campus in my accommodation, and then I met the 2 lads that we ended up living with, and we all just got on so well, and it worked out so well. I know some people have had awful campus experiences. I was very lucky that I had a great one. So yeah, I really enjoyed it.
I think that's so lovely. I think it's so rare to have, like, that super magical kind of experience. I think maybe I felt good about living at home because I heard so many horror stories from people that were on my course. I was like, oh god.
Yeah. This one may split us in terms of opinions.
Okay.
Practice research or traditional PhD?
I think practice research is probably, like, more admirable.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. I think practice research will do the thing that we all want to do, which is, like, move research outside of academia.
Yeah.
Whereas traditional PhDs, like, as much as I would love, like, whatever I do to have an impact that, like, goes beyond academia, I know that realistically it probably won't.
Yeah, no,
so
I get that.
I think practice-based has that element of, like, being able to facilitate, like, what's the word I'm looking for, like, dissemination of research in helpful ways, like, so I think it's the future.
Oh, May! I love practice research. If you don't know, it's where you so a traditional research is like you write the chapters, but then practice research is you have something alongside it that it could be writing a novel, a photography series, even just like a reflecting on your experience, something that disseminates the research through the experience of producing something tangible. And I really like it personally. I think it's not frowned upon, but I think it can be looked down upon quite a bit.
Some people can be very prejudiced about it for some unknown fucking reason.
But I think for a lot of people, especially if you're in the arts and you don't consider higher education for you, the knowledge that practice research is an option may be really enticing.
Sure. It's definitely, like, a better way for a lot of people to work.
Yeah. Last minute submission or a week in advance?
Oh my god, week in advance.
100%.
I don't do it, but, like, if I could do it, lovely. When I was a BA, I was quite good at this. Like, I think I was so shit because, like, I didn't know what university was. I had no conception of what it was like before I went, so I was, like, fucking diligent for about 6 months probably before I just started getting to the point of just, like, winging absolutely everything. But yeah, I think I was so scared, like, when I started, I was like, yes.
Yeah.
If I'm organised, nothing can hurt me. And that was wise.
I'm definitely a week in advance sort of person.
Yeah.
I have to, otherwise the anxiety sets in, and I'm fueled by anxiety.
Sure.
So I'm in a constant game of trying to avoid it. And one of the ways is by submitting things a week in advance.
Submitting things early.
Do you like to research in the morning or at night?
In the morning, I think. If I have the opportunity, I love, like, I'm one of those fucking weirdos that I love to get up at, like, 4:30 and do research.
In the morning?
Yeah. That's, like, my prime time.
You're a psychopath.
Yeah, I'm disgusting. Fully disgusting. All my actual prime times, I think if I was normal, always, like, when I'm working.
Yeah.
So, and then when I come back in from work, I'm so sleepy. I'm like, whoa. Yeah.
You have been out, like, fending off horses all day.
I think I come in and like, I've been in the fresh air and I'm usually very angry about something. Like, so I have a cup of tea and then I'm like, right, I need to like switch my brain off for half an hour, but then getting it to switch back on, hard. I can research well at night and well really early. I have to basically have every other stimulus removed for me to be like super productive, I think. Yeah. What are you?
I'm in the morning. I'm not a late night sort of person. The people who are like, oh my god, I was researching until like 2 a.m. last night.
Never me.
And I'm just like, this is going to sound really harsh, but I'm like, do you prefer that or do you have no time management?
Sure, yeah, exactly.
You know? If you prefer it, like, go for it.
Go for it.
But it's not healthy.
I don't believe night owls exist.
No. No.
Like, why do you not want to be asleep as early as humanly possible?
Given the choice, I would rather be asleep.
You want to be asleep.
Yeah. I'd always choose unconsciousness over...
Yeah, like, I would be here, particularly.
Given the option, knock me straight out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Last one. Mm-hmm. Library or coffee shop to research?
Library. I think library. Unless there's noisy people in there. I don't mind. I like ambient noise. Yeah. I can't have silence.
No.
But like, I don't want to gaggle.
Yeah, you don't want to hear what someone did on a night out the night before.
If it's good, I want to hear it.
Fair dues.
If it's really exciting, but if it's someone just like doing a rendition of like the most boring fucking like hookup story you've ever heard, I'm like, I want to hear something twisted.
The most vanilla hookup story.
Yeah, if they're like...
Some of us are trying to research
They're
here.
so excited about it, and I'm like, pray do you tell what happened. It's like the most boring thing you've ever heard. I'm just like...
It was just missionary, and that's it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I want to hear people's disastrous sex stories.
This is Jess's PSA. Everyone has sex, guys.
And even if you don't have sex, obviously, that's fine. That's
of course.
Fine. That's great. Everybody's... I would hate to see my... I wouldn't mind, like, I'm like, by the time I get employed, like, I'm so much less slutty than I was.
Exactly.
You know?
I'm married, for Christ's sake.
I'm like, guys, things have changed. I'm totally different now. Yeah. But I did do terrible things.
Yeah. And if anything, I think talking about it, if someone's doing like their undergrad and they're like nervous about the experience of being at university,
sure,
to women who have gone through it and are now in committed relationships, it might be comforting to hear.
I was gonna say, like, speaking as a veteran slut, like, I've never genuinely
a retired slut.
Yeah, a retired slut. Like, I never, ever once, the one thing that like patriarchy has never been able to poison for me is like, I have never been ashamed of anything that I've done sexually.
I love that.
And I would never, ever entertain going near anybody, like any partner that like would want to make me feel ashamed for things that I've done in the past. Like, why the fuck? I get it, it's a patriarch thing. Like, I think most, like, not to generalise, but men, like, but women, you know, women stigmatise other women too.
Like, misogyny.
I've had a lot of women criticise me for speaking very openly about like slutty, you know, like slutty pastimes.
Yeah.
So, and it's not, you know, it's not their fault really, it's not guys' fault really, like, but you should never be ashamed of anything that you do sexually, as long as, like, everybody's, like, consenting and happy.
I love that. What a fantastic note to end the podcast
What a
on.
mic drop. I know. Here's our podcast about higher education. Be a slut, do whatever you want.
Consent is sexy. See you later.
Yeah. I just think if you're going to be in higher education, like, if sex is your thing, like, start having it. Like, sometimes it's going to be the only thing that makes you feel normal.
Yes, and it's just the truth of going into higher education. You are put, especially as an undergrad, you are put in a building with a load of other 18-year-olds.
Yeah,
What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah.
And we need to talk about it.
Did it, like, when I was a BA, like, I didn't want to fuck anybody, like, oh my god, everybody was a loser, like, no offence, guys, like, you're all fucking boring. Some of the women, gorgeous, stunning,
but obviously,
as we've said, unfortunately, not for me. I know. But
you'd be too powerful.
The dudes, not interested. Sadly, I kind of thought I'd go and like I'd meet like you know the hot guys doing English, and I was like, where are they?
Not in English.
Why aren't they here? I know. I was like, God, they really are all doing fucking like engineering.
Yeah, they're all in like economics.
Some of them, to be fair, I think our hot guy quota went to like history.
Yes.
And I was like, why have you got them all?
Because it's cute, though.
History is very, very erotic subject.
It is!
I would, a historian.
Yeah.
Any day.
Yeah, like my husband likes art history, and when he starts talking about art history, it does it.
Yeah.
It does it for me.
So what does it for you?
Yeah, take him to the Tate.
Get that man in the Tate. I love the Tate. Last time I was in the Tate, me and my friend genuinely got kicked out because we were too drunk to be in the Tate. How bad is that? Got strong-armed out of the Tate.
And now you're an academic researcher.
Yeah.
Follow your dreams, kids.
No, I've not got time to be drunk in the Tate anymore, but I really enjoyed it.
I imagine it was great.
Oh my god. They got, I can't remember what was in the Turbine Hall, but it was like a big silk, like, hangings exhibition. I was so excited, but then just, like, also just full of fucking vodka, and I was just, like, screaming. Just screaming. It was so bad.
Wow.
It was awful.
They really sent you back to the Midlands and were like, no thank you.
They were like, get your trash ass out of the Tate Modern.
Amazing. Well, that's us.
Yeah,
So
that's our first episode, and it's only taken us an hour.
that's good. I reckon the next episode won't be as long.
It won't. We've done all of our talking now.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks,
and
everyone.
if you didn't absolutely hate that, please do stick around.